I came from University of Novi Sad, Faculty of Science, Department for Chemistry, Biochemistry, Environmental Protection. Co-author of this work is also Professor Olga Petrovic, who is present here. She came from the Department of Biology and Ecology from same faculty. And we investigated water supply source almost whole last decade. From this year, not. Because we commented quality of drinking water on television, and we was punished on that way that we not provide monitoring this year from the water company. But we hope that in future we will start again with monitoring of that source. You see on the picture that is city, Novi Sad, and Danube passes nearby city, and we have free water source on Danube bank. And we have a problem with Danube quality, with discharging of wastewater, and you will see other problems. Our wells are designed as rainy wells where water filtrated to bank. Almost 90% of water come from Danube, and 10% come from land. And we have influence from Danube quality and from sediment quality, because water go through sediment which is contaminated. This paper presents the result of investigation of quality of our free water source Srdjan, Petrovaradska and Rat Ostrovo, carried out during 2010. The aim of this investigation was to obtain information on the possible movement of pollutant and to evaluate the treatment wells and wider area source. On end, we give some measures, but there is the problem of implementing the measure. During the investigation, water quality was measured from water intake wells and from piezometers. We provided chemical analysis and the microbiological analysis. This is Srdjan source. I marked here wells. We have 6 wells with horizontal drains and 6 with vertical drains. Unfortunately, this source is in direct contact with residential area, and at this moment it is not in use because of contamination of wells. Here is marked the drinking water treatment plant. Here is a sewage system in this area, and these are some pictures from the area of source. You see that a lot of piezometers are damaged, and on that way its groundwater is in direct contact with surface water and with atmospheric water. And this is a result of vinyl chloride concentration in groundwater. And you see I marked the piezometers with high concentration of vinyl chloride. And on right side of table you can see also that vinyl chloride is present in water source wells. Allowed level is 0.5 microgram per liter, and you can imagine it what are this concentration, very high concentration. And this picture you can see annual average concentration during the 2010, and you can and also you can see with red color sewage system, and that the high concentration is 300 on the place where big sewage pipe change direction. And we think that there is some correlation between that result. We think that vinyl chloride is present here from trichloroethane, which is used for dress cleaning. There is a lot of cleaning service, and we don't know what they do with used trichloroethylene. On this picture you can see Danube level during the last year, and we can see that after high level of Danube, we have the effect of this dissolution of vinyl chloride in source. This is Petrovaradinska Ada source. There is 6 wells with horizontal drains and 8 with vertical wells. This is Petrovaradin settlement. This is factory Pobeda. This is area with weekend cottage without basic sanitation. This is one restaurant. This is boat anchorage. This is marina. And also in that wells we find high concentration of vinyl chloride. I mark with red color, and you can see average annual average concentration. There is also present mineral oil. This is raw water from Petrovaradinska Ada. It's allowed a concentration of 10 microgram per liter. And also you can concentration of mineral oil, total hydrocarbons in piezometers. And this is the third source, Ratno Ostrovo source, the biggest source on the Danube. More than 50% of drinking water we take from that source. And this is our wells. This is discharging oiled water from oil refinery. In the past, discharging was in the middle of source, and now is replaced 3 kilometers further. This is one melioration channel. This is oil refinery who was almost destroyed during the 1999. This is one village. This is thermal power plant, and this is one of discharge point for municipal sewage effluent. And you can see a very big pressure on that very, very important source. Reason is that we first built the industry, and then we discovered a huge quantity of water in that area, and now we have problem. This is also drainage channel, and we investigated border zone between oil refinery and water source, and we find this is the direction of observation marked with blue line, and with the red color I marked piezometers with high concentration of mineral oil. And we find a direction of movement of transportation of oil from refinery to the source. This is the concentration of mineral oil in raw water from that source. We also find aromatic volatile organic compound, and also in one of piezometer we find free oil layer. That means that 10 years after destroying the refinery, there is still high concentration of oil in soil and in groundwater, and it's pressure on very important pressure on source. Also, we screening the groundwater on specific organic pollutants with gas chromatography with mass spectrometer, and we find a dozen of organic compound who are very dangerous. You can see first table is from water source Ratno Ostrovo, second is from Petrovaradinska Ada. I have only group of compound, but we have the list with name of exactly compound who are identified in that water. This is table for raw water from Petrovaradinska Ada. And many of that compound that we identified in water source, in groundwater, we also find in the Danube. And we concluded that their xenobiotic pass through the bank river, through the sand. Sand cannot stop them. This is our result of monitoring Danube in 2009, and all of that compound we also find and in water and in sediment in line with all three source. This is investigation provided by ICPDR 4 years ago, and they also indicated area of Novi Sad as contaminated. This is the concentration of 2-diethyl phthalate in the area of Novi Sad. This is 4-reasononyl phenol at Novi Sad. And what are the compounds we find? D2-ethyl phthalate is one of the priority pollutants. Dibutyl phthalate is on list of other substances in Slovakia and Finland. Dimethyl and diethyl phthalate are very frequently detected in all samples. We also find pHs, also find alkyl substitute benzes, which are typically present in pollution from transportation fuel oils. We also find glycolators, which are used for paint solvent, also some food, perfume, and cleaning products, benzophenone from sun creams and lotion, 2-ethyl-1-hexanol from cosmetics, palmitoleic acid, benzothiazole from industry of rubber, hexadecanol, paracresol, paraterzbutylphenol, and so on and so on. A lot of chemicals which we find in Danube and in our water source. This is some of microbiology analysis of samples, and in water we also find lipolytic and hydrocarbon oxidase in bacteria. That means that in that area is present substrate for growing of that bacteria. That means that is oil contaminated water. You see that according to IFA, 43% of water is polluted. According to coal, also a lot of percent of water is polluted. You can see also water classification. You can see that is water 43% polluted and 27% moderately polluted. It's very serious results. These results from Srdjan source, where you can see increasing of number of lipolytic and hydrocarbon oxidizing bacteria. This is the number of aerobic mesophilic bacteria, and you can see also increasing the number of bacteria. This is the last result from Srdjan water source, and also you can find a large number of bacteria. This is also a phosphatase activity index, and in wells, water source wells, you can find also contaminated water according to phosphatase activity index. We also find coliform bacteria, and you can see marked Escherichia coli. On Petrarinska Ada samples, we also find hydrocarbon oxidizing bacteria and other groups. And we show on chemical analysis and on microbiological analysis the water is very, very contaminated. And what are the measures we suggested in that area? First, on Srdjan source, we must make a rehabilitation of sewer system. On Petrarinska Ada, we must stop building of houses, and we must better manage with protection zone, because there is a lot of activity. This year there was exit in Petrovaradin, and the camp for tourists was on water source because it's near the stage, and that is a very, very big problem. And in Ratno Ostrovo, we can provide phytoremediation of border zone between the water supply and refinery. We built some protected wells, and in case that we find the high concentration of oil contamination, we can pump that water, and on that way we can stop crossing the oil to the wells. But much better for this moment is to build some phytoremediation zone, for example, with poplars trees. We were started with that, but we were stopped because of some administration problems, who is owner of that land and so on, and the city stopped with that activity. And the important thing is the improvement of current drinking water preparation technology. Unfortunately, we have just aeration and sand filtration and chlorination, and we see that Danube Bank do a lot, but not enough in case of xenobiotics. They pass through the sand, and we need add ozonization and active carbon filters to remove xenobiotics, and to be prepared for the situation in the future when maybe situation with Danube quality and with source quality can be much worse, and on that way we will be protected on a really way. Professor Dalmazia made some investigation in the 1991, and 20 years ago he suggested ozonization active carbon, and now 20 years later we still don't have in the city with 300,000 of people. Thank you for your attention.